this year.
Oh.
Several years ago, Dad started recording memories he wanted to share with us girls. This section is a little bit from his musings, as he titled it, and he called this section The Girls. So far, I haven't said much about the girls in my early life, and there were a number of them, and that was an experience that prepared me for the one I spent my life with. When Elizabeth Furstenberg came into my life, I knew that pursuit of other girls was over with. Elizabeth and I met at a dance in Montfort. Marty Neindorf had jumped onto my back to get a better look at the grand march for the Montfort homecoming dance. He slipped and fell to the floor, and then I spied Dad coming in our direction, and to avoid confrontation with him as the dance inspector, I headed down the sideline, grabbing Elizabeth and said, "Let's dance." That was how we met. As it turned out, Elizabeth wasn't the only girl in my life. After we were married, along came Agnes in 1955, followed by Cecilia, Carolyn, Virginia, and Elizabeth Betts. The Korean War. In 1951, Dad was drafted for the Korean War. Occasionally, he would get out the projector and screen to give us kids a slideshow of Korea. The Army changed his life, but he didn't talk about the darker side of his service. I only recently learned that he was actually shot at and fired to protect himself. He kept that from us. Dad had a strong work ethic. His first job was an evening milk route with horse and wagon. He was 11 and counted himself lucky to get paid 25 cents an evening for 1.5 hours work. At age 14, Dad started working for Rufus Quick at the Montfort Mail. The newspaper was sent by hand, every individual letter picked up and put in proper order. So began his professional life. Printing requires precision. If you are printing in color, the magenta, yellow, and cyan images must be in register, precisely aligned. Dad loved the challenge because he was a perfectionist. He was particularly proud of the books he printed, perhaps because he loved to read. Photography. You saw all the pictures. Dad loved to document life with photos. He could shoot from the hip, so to speak. He'd hold the camera in front of him without aiming, and next thing you knew, he'd taken an unposed picture of you. Talents. Dad could make anything, and he shared his knowledge. Tom learned woodworking from when Tom and Dad made dental cabinets together 30 years ago. Tom still uses those cabinets today. We went up to the house, and we saw that they were still using the built-in cupboards that he had put into the house. One summer, Dad built an ice fishing shanty out of plywood. It was a deluxe shanty. Regular screens, storm door, windows that opened, a propane furnace with a chimney, and 8 square openings in the floor. Seal and I were so pleased that he thought we were responsible enough to paint that shanty. We played in it during the day and slept overnight in it. After we moved to the big house on the hill, Dad remodeled the basement into a rec room. He did all the plumbing, wiring, and carpentry. An old service garage used to stand on the site of this Legion building right here. Dad rescued some of the bricks. We girls had to chip the mortar off the bricks. Not a pleasant job. He made a half wall of the old brick. He put in a restaurant booth that he rescued from somewhere. We painted it. A sink and a counter with cabinets, a bathroom, and a TV. He wanted our friends to come to our house instead of us going to other kids' houses. Hunting and fishing. Big part of Dad's life. Dad wrote that he started hunting and fishing as a way to do something and duck out on chores or work around the house. He spent hours in nature and knew a lot about wild animal behavior. He was proud of being a good shot and not wasting bullets. He taught us girls to help him skin squirrels and rabbits and snapping turtles. He taught us to cast a line and bait a hook. Summer vacation always included fishing. 2 adults and 5 girls in one boat. girls weren't too interested in gunsmithing, hunting, or reloading. He was proud that Garland shot in the Rifle League with him for a few years and that Seal shot at the 600-yard match with iron sights in the cross. I'm sure you all heard Dad's stories of shooting prairie dogs in South Dakota. The most fun Dad in his whole life was shooting prairie dogs, especially with his brothers Clete and Clem. Things we'll remember about life with Dad. Dad using his pocket knife and a magnifier to remove our splinters. Pollock jokes. Cheese curds. Worms in a container in the refrigerator. His homemade pickled beets and tomato juice. An annual family Christmas letter. Shoes left next to the recliner. A beer at lunch. A martini glass left on the end table. The smells of gun cleaner and printer's ink. And his greetings. Hi, honey. Are you going to be home Friday? Thanks, sis, for the good meal. Hello, brother. Dennis here. Last week, Dad told Tom that he felt like he had been failing over the last 6 months. Dad said he was determined to keep on living to the end. He had lots of plans. Visit Clete and Irene this winter. Add photos to his memoirs. Make more boxes with his printer saw. Go shooting squirrels with the pistol. If he took the four-wheeler, the squirrels wouldn't be afraid and he could shoot them. Show somebody how to skin a squirrel and cook it. Fix the windmill for Stonefield. Go hog hunting in Texas. Thank you for listening to me. I enjoyed putting this together. It's good to remember family. Some thank yous are in order. Seal, Garland, Betts, and I would like to thank Bob and Jim for allowing Dad to move in with them. We know it wasn't always easy, but you gave him what the rest of us couldn't. A comfortable home near his friends and space for a workshop. Thank you to Bob, Tom, and Roman for making Dad's urn. To everyone else, my sisters and I want to thank you for all the love and kindness you gave to Dennis and Elizabeth during their lifetimes. And thank you for helping us celebrate Dad's life today.